Can you believe that Dave Kaval resigned as president of the Fs? Dave Kaval, the face of trying to get a new ballpark in Oakland, failed. The face of the relocation to Vegas, questionable. The face of the interim move to Sacramento, definite, since they're playing in Sacramento next season, which starts in just 2 months. We're 2 months away from the opening in Tokyo with the Dodgers and the Cubs. A little over 2 months. Dave Kaval resigned and released a statement that I almost did a live show during the break. He said that I will be staying in California to explore new opportunities at the crossroads of business and government. Where is that on the drop-down menu of LinkedIn? I'm just wondering how that works. Don't you see what actually happened here? And it happens to all of us who get new stadiums. A shout out to Larry Lucchino, an amazing mentor. If you don't know who that is, Google him. Just an unbelievably accomplished man. Rest in peace. He told me you can't get a ballpark and survive with your reputation intact. You have to be the sacrificial lamb in order to get public financing because no one's in favor of giving any sort of corporate welfare to perceived billionaires. And you have to be willing to do your job, take one for the team, because it is very rare that the public face of a stadium campaign can survive that. But interestingly enough, as the A's were continuing their move to Vegas, as they were getting towards Sacramento, Dave Kaval really disappeared. And it was this other Fisher guy, a limited partner named Dean, who really is the one who spoke at the meetings with the commission. So Kaval was basically removed from his job because he had lost his ability to be effective. Very frustrating as a team president to know that you are negotiating away your career. There is no one who stops being the president of a baseball team in order to explore new opportunities at the crossroads of business and government. That gobbledygook, what is he going to be, a lobbyist? Is that the crossroads of business and government? Are you going to be some sort of entrepreneur? I think that if you are going to resign as team president, effective December 31st, as your team is getting ready at the interim facility, then your commitment to your organization is non-existent. It has to be that he was fired. It has to be that John Fisher realized that he had burnt Kaval the way you burn a knock list in Mission Impossible. He had to have recognized that leading that organization through Sacramento to Vegas, getting a ballpark built in Vegas was just something he was not going to be able to do. And if that's the case, why not just say it? Why not have John Fisher, instead of coming out and saying, we are grateful for Dave's contributions and leadership over the past 8 years. As we look ahead to the next chapter of our franchise, the team will continue to grow under new leadership, blah, blah, blah. How about saying that my name's John Fisher and I'm not selling this team? There is no question that this process has been fraught with ugliness. It's been sex, lies, and videotape. It is very difficult to have any credibility in any of the 3 markets, whether it's Oakland, Sacramento, or Vegas. And in order to attempt to relaunch this team, both on an interim basis in Sacramento and a permanent basis in Vegas, should that happen, there was no choice but to have Dave Kaval no longer associated with the team. Normally, for a team president who's going to get his power usurped and not be the public face, you kick him upstairs. He can be the CEO. He can be the special assistant to the owner. He can be it's like being of counsel when you age out of a law firm. But to go through the machinations and basically the contortions required to have you believe that everything he did was magical, to me, it made John Fisher look even worse than he already looks. This was his moment to take an aggressive step to improving his reputation. It was his moment to acknowledge the ineffectiveness of his team president. And instead, they went with the normal, innocuous, pleasant statements. The only thing missing, and I give John Fisher credit, there was nothing there about his family. To sum up the Oakland situation, you've read that the deal in Vegas is done, except they're missing an entire agreement with Clark County. You've read that they're going to break ground in the first quarter of 2025. Spoiler alert, we're in the first quarter. And breaking ground is not a ceremony with a shovel. You've read they can break ground as late as the second quarter, start construction, and still be fine for 28. I have no idea what kind of construction weed they're smoking, but it must be laced with rebar and some sort of concrete juice. Because to have a construction timeline that condensed is a prescription for overrun disaster. And in Vegas, they already have about $500 million of overruns. I'm not willing to say it's done yet. I'm going to start 2025 the way I did all of 24 and 23 and 22 and 21 and 20. I'll believe Vegas when I see it.